everyone, I hope you're doing well. I want to talk about media theory. Just as a little backstory, I have studied media arts at the Academy of Media Arts in Cologne. We have been dealing with books around it, like from Marshall McLuhan, The Medium is the Message. I think this is like a really popular one. How the message of the thing itself, what you want to actually communicate, is actually pushed aside a little bit by the medium itself. So for instance, when people talk about the digital detoxing, I think it usually comes from that the thing itself, like Instagram, is just so overloaded with these messages that then the medium owns actually the message. I personally also have experiences with AI tools, with ChatGPT and Gemini, Google Gemini. It was a little bit like this moment of really realizing, oh my God, I really feel like this kind of thing owns me. You know, think about a car. This is how I want to see it. You know, you have a car. And then you want to think and ask yourself, do I use the car for everything that I do in my life? You know, even when I just want to visit my neighbor 5 houses away, you don't use that car for everything you do. And I feel like from my perspective, as someone who looks at these kind of things also from a perspective of saying, but this is a tool. You know, it's not necessarily an extension of your brain. So I always try to remind myself and say, this is just the brain power of some people who are smart enough to like conclude out of some algorithms what can be beneficial for people in their everyday usage. And I think it's also really a thing, I mean, from our generation, I would assume, and something I'm just curious about myself to deal with a little bit more, like the whole medium question. But to say the medium shouldn't own us, I just type it into the ChatGPT or the AI tool, and I'm like, afterwards, I'm like, but actually, my intuition already told me what I should do about it. Why am I asking this tool now? I use this tool to just like confirm something, but then I realized what this thing tells me sometimes isn't as smart as actually my own intuition. And then I question it and I think, but how does it help me now, this tool? What I want to leave here, you know, this is something also an experiment for me. I want to do these kind of like sharings more. So, but I want to ask you now, how do you feel about it? And how is it for you? Like how do you navigate, you know? And yeah, and today really I saw this advertisement here in Düsseldorf. I saw how they say, you know, like 1/4 of the Germans want to have a digital detox, you know, and I'm like, this is huge, you know. I will actually research more and more books about it and look into my study program books that we had, and I can happily share. Goodbye.